instead of wandering around like this. I'm like,
but you guys like honestly.
None. I told Steph midway through our
we go
stuff. And then we'll just be like,
hey, I'm so sorry walking down the aisle like this.
do it. I dare you. I dare you. Dare you.
We should all just walk away.
See ya, like camera obsession. Please step back, it's my style cramping. You here for long, go no, I'm just
Okay.
Hey.
Hi, girl. Nana, smile. Nana's been.
Oh my god, I love your shirt. That's hilarious.
It's totally your. Looks good. Yeah. Go, Charlie, go. Look at you go.
Hi, Jackie. Hi. You look pretty.
We're not done yet, sweetheart.
Is it okay if I just like kind of come behind here?
Yes, you can try to avoid. Sorry.
Okay.
Put on the moisturizer.
Okay, Dad, one's for you and one's for Granddad.
What's his name?
Charlie.
Charlie.
Charlie?
Hi. Hi, Charlie.
Okay,
I'm lost Canadian widow.
Put on this boot here.
one's for him, one's for my granddad.
Can we take a picture of her putting on the boot? I think it kind of has to go here. I'm going to do my best.
Yeah, I would not know. I'm sorry.
Priscilla,
Olivia.
Are we getting ready to go now, Lindsay's?
car's picking up in like 12 minutes. So I really.
Oh, look at that pretty dress.
Oh, white.
How long before I trip on my dress?
Yes, Lindsay, we'll let that bridal party go first.
Not all of us are gonna.
I can too. Okay,
Thanks,
you're fine.
Gary, because holding a baby in a dress is hard. Hi, Priscilla.
You do anything as a mama. It just all works.
I think we have the same lipstick.
These are the worst elevators of life.
We'll take a shot after.
Please take
Hold
these
on,
out.
let me know.
Oh, sorry. Go away. Okay, tight schedule.
Do you want me to carry it?
Yeah.
You've got those who wasn't I grabbed.
Okay.
You want to grab that flower? She's going in the car with you.
Beautiful lens.
Thanks, babe. Hi, Nana. Hi, Granddad. Bye. Granddad, see you at home.
Wow, beautiful.
Hi, guys. I don't even know where I'm going. Where's my dad's truck? It's over here. I'm going the wrong way. All right. Bye, guys. I'll see you on the chat line.
I'm gonna pull the truck up.
Oh, Jesus, these are closing. Wow.
That's our parents over there.
Okay.
Hi, Dad. Okay, ladies.
All right.
Guys,
Say hello.
it's okay, good. Not your car? Yes. So pretty. I love you. Hi. Oh my God, don't cry, Gary.
It's all going in here.
Don't cry, Carrie.
Is everybody there?
Is Eddie coming? No, she is. She's getting Olivia stuff. Okay, there we go.
Or that way, right?
Yeah.
We gotta do their things.
Their thing?
They're doing the flowers for my granddad and my dad.
Okay.
You can do them in the.
Hi, Jason. I'm glad you made it. Power yet? You got power? Electricity. Still?
So I need to do this on your dad.
Woohoo!
Yeah, go ahead. Dear friends, we're gathered here today to witness the marriage of Stephen and Lindsay, to celebrate with them. They've asked you here to be a part of their wedding. It's their wedding day, as they pledge themselves to each other. By your presence, you celebrate with them the love they've discovered in each other, and you support their decision to commit themselves to one another for the rest of their lives. Stephen and Lindsay, you've made known that you wish to marry each other, and no one has shown any valid reason why you may not. If either of you know of any reason why you may not lawfully be married, now is the time to declare it. Hi, Olivia. Stephen, do you take Lindsay to be your wife, to love her, comfort her, honor, protect her, and forsaking all others, to be faithful to her for as long as you both shall live? Lindsay, you take Stephen to be your husband, to love him, comfort him, honor and protect him, and forsaking all others, to be faithful to him for as long as you both shall live?
I do.
Today is a celebration of love, of commitment, of friendship, of family. of two people who are in it forever. You're about to make promises to each other that you intend to keep. You're going to vow to take care of each other, to stand up for one another, find happiness in the other. There's a simple premise to each of these promises. You're vowing to be there for each other for the rest of your lives. And face each other and join hands. Stephen, repeat after me. I, Stephen,
I, Stephen,
take you, Lindsay, to be my wife,
take you, Lindsay, to be my wife,
to have and to hold from this day forward,
to have and to hold until this day forward,
for better, for worse,
for better, for worse,
for richer, for poor,
for richer, for poor,
in sickness and in health,
in sickness and in health,
to love and to cherish
to love and to cherish
for the rest of our lives.
for the rest of our lives.
This is my vow to you.
This is my vow to you.
Lindsay, you repeat after me. I, Lindsay,
I, Lindsay,
take you, Stephen, to be my husband,
take you, Stephen, to be my husband,
to have and to hold from this day forward,
to have and to hold from this day forward,
for better, for worse,
for better or for worse,
for richer, for poor,
for richer or poor,
for in sickness and in health,
in sickness and in health,
to love and to cherish
to love and to cherish
for the rest of our lives.
for the rest of our lives.
This is my vow to you.
This is my vow to you.
The perfect circle, the ring symbolizes eternity. In the years to come, these rings will remind you of the overwhelming joy of this special occasion when you were united in marriage. Stephen, would you take this ring, place it on Lindsay's finger, and as you do, say this.
Hold on. It's a little tight.
With all my love,
With all my love,
I give you this ring,
I give you this ring,
an everlasting symbol of the vows you made to each other,
an everlasting symbol of the love, the vows we make to each other,
and as a token of my love.
and as a token of my love.
Lindsay, would you take this and place it on Stephen's finger, and as you do, say this. With all my love,
With all my love,
I give you this ring,
I give you this ring,
an everlasting symbol of the vows we made to each other.
an everlasting vows of the
Everlasting symbol
symbol of the vows
made to each other,
we made to each other,
and as a token of my love.
and as the token of my love.
Stephen and Lindsay, from this day on, may you always communicate openly and honestly with each other and live these days of joy. May you live in each other's company in peace and trust, and may you love and fulfill each other always. Love is more than a feeling. It's a commitment. Commitment to work things out, to resolve the issues, to communicate when it's hard to communicate when it's hard to,
It's okay, we screwed up.
and to forgive each other and start fresh each day. Good marriages take time and effort to build and to nurture. Marriage thrives on the love that you have for each other and grows deeper as each of you grow older. May you never forget this special day, and may your hearts be blessed as you often reflect on it. Now you will feel no rain, for each of you will be shelter for the other. Now you will feel no cold, for each of you will be warmth to the other. Now you will feel no loneliness, for each of you will be companionship to the other. Now you are two persons, but there is only one life between you. Stephen and Lindsay, you've chosen each other in love and freedom. You've declared your purpose before your witnesses, and you made your pledges one to another. It is now my great pleasure to pronounce you husband and wife. You may cheer. Okay, girls, we need to make some room here.
Oh, it's
So let's see, look at around here. Oh, wait a minute. Why don't we just? It's a beautiful night. Looking for something new to do. Hey, baby, I think I'm ready. Is it the look in your eyes, or is it the distance in you?
nice faces, guys. Over here,
Ladies and gentlemen, have your attention, please. It's my great pleasure to introduce for the first time his husband and wife, Mr. and Mrs. Stephen and Lindsay Marcos.
I saw them. I haven't seen them yet though. That's good, Yoga.
First off, I'd like to introduce to you all the maid of honor and best man of the wedding, Corey and Eileen. Next, groomsmen and bridesmaid, Nelson and Carrie Lynn.
Animal print pants out control. It's Red Bull with the big ass bra. And like Bruce Lee, I got the clout, yeah. Girl, look at that body. Girl, look at that body. Girl, look at that body.
Next, groomsmen and bridesmaid, Steve and Tiffany.
Girl, look at that body. Girl, look at that body. I work out when I walk in the spot. This is what I see. Everybody stops and staring at me.
The next groomsmen and bridesmaid, Dylan, Jockey and Andrew.
I'm sexy and I know it. I'm sexy and I know it.
Your junior groomsmen and bridesmaids, Dylan and Priscilla. Now a very special introduction and round of applause for your flower girl and ring bearer, Olivia and Jacob. Now, ladies and gentlemen, it is my absolute honor to introduce to you all for the first time, Mr. and Mrs. Steve and Lindsay Marcos.
That tonight's gonna be a good night. 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 Tonight's the night. Let's live.
Thank you all for coming, especially some of our family that have driven up from Ottawa. All our immediate family for Stafford Lindsay are sitting at the first table over here. And our Ottawa family are sitting right behind them. And I think the rest of the building is basically Joe and Maria's. Right? How many Joes are in the building right now? Raise your hand if your name's got Joe in it. Oh yeah. Closet Joe. Okay, so we're gonna get started with this. We have a couple speeches we want to get out of the way. I guess Eileen wants to start first. Lindsay's maid of honor. So come on over, Eileen.
Who's that? Yeah, that's right. Get a picture.
Hello everyone. For those who don't know me, my name is Eileen and I am Lindsay's maid of honor. Sorry, that can I use this? It's just here.
It's for decoration.
On behalf, is it even on?
No, it's not.
Sorry guys.
No, it's on.
Alright, fine. On behalf of the bridesmaids and myself, we would just like to thank everyone for being here today to help celebrate Lindsay and Stefan's special day with us. I'd also like to take the time to thank Vince and Kim McAdonnell and Joe and Ilda Marcos for help organizing this beautiful event. They did an amazing job in such a short period of time. Now, can I just say how beautiful Lindsay looks tonight? Doesn't she just look absolutely even buddy, sorry to say, just look a little bit stunned. I met Lindsay about 14 years ago at her work, Rogers for anyone who doesn't know. We became great friends a short time later as we're very similar in many ways. Since I've known her for quite a long time, I definitely have some very funny stories about her. Stories that I'm sure Stefan has never even heard. very incriminating, embarrassing stories that I'm sure make Lindsay really mad. But it's your wedding day, I'll be nice. For now, if you want real dirt, come see me at the bar later. So, Lindsay met Stephen at Rogers. In fact, Lindsay meets everyone at Rogers. Stephen, myself, all the bridesmaids, Carrie Lynn, Tiffany, Jackie, even a lot of the guests here. When Lindsay first met Stephen, they were on a work training session in Toronto. They hit it off as friends, but that was about it. He eventually moved to Ottawa and started working in our building, and the two of them started hanging out. But it was undeniable to them that they felt some chemistry. The more Lindsay got to know Stephen, the more she realized he was her soulmate. They both wanted the same things in life: house, marriage, kids, and had the same core family values. When Lindsay and Stephen first started dating, they kept the relationship a secret. In fact, I was one of the few that Lindsay was told. But eventually they knew they couldn't hide the relationship anymore, as it wasn't just a fall fling. It was something deeper than that, and the truth came out. Now, I've known Lindsay a long time, and I've never seen her this happy. It sounds a little cheesy, as Stephen is basically the missing piece to her puzzle. Now, you may have noticed that I've been referring to the groom as both Stephen and Stephen. Some of you may be a little confused. Heck, most of us are. So, your name is spelled Stephen. Everyone in Ottawa pronounces it Stephen, including everyone at Rogers. Everyone at home says Stephen. Your beautiful bride calls you Stephen. What is your name?
Ask my mom. How did he introduce himself?
I don't even know. I don't know.
Call me
What is his
Stephen
name?
if you guys are calling me Stephen.
Yep.
No, not even getting the answer. Can I have the answer?
It's Steve, Stephen, Steve.
Stop.
Whatever.
Since I've been happily married for the past 6 years, I decided it's my duty as maid of honor to give the newlyweds some useful marriage advice. So the more you invest in marriage, the more valuable it becomes. An anniversary lasts a day. A forgotten anniversary lasts an eternity. If you have to fight, do it naked. Stephen or Stephen. 5 magic words. I'm sorry, it's my fault. And finally, always remember, marriage has many pains, but celibacy has no pressures. Now I'd like everyone to raise their glasses for a toast. May your love be like the wind, strong enough to move the clouds, soft enough to never hurt, but always and never ending. To love, to laughter, to a happily ever after. To Lindsay and Stephen's.
Cheers.
Thanks, Eileen. Okay, the next speech is coming from Steph's brother, Corey. There you are.
Hi, girlfriend.
Okay, Corey.
Eileen, I'm glad you're really nice. Not about So for those of you who don't know me, I'm Steve's brother Corey. I could stand here and tell you all the ways I'm superior to Steve, but we don't have 2 hours and you all know the reasons. Some of you may be wondering why he even chose me as his best man, considering how much of a sarcastic jerk I can be. And it's really simple. Look at these pathetic groomsmen. He had no choice. I had no choice in a brother. The crazy thing is, Lindsay actually had a choice, and she said yes to marrying Steve, which is why we're all here today. So I guess as best man, it's my duty to tell you a couple things about Steve. As a child, my brother had a huge butt. It was so big. In fact, he was getting measured from her suit, and the tailor kept telling my mom to take the wallet out of his pocket because she didn't believe his butt was that big. I can say now, though, that you've kind of grown into it. Mostly here, However, that's kind of my fault, and our old roommate Marco, because for 6 months we were replacing your protein powder with weight gainer. Steve used to think I was his professional wrestling stuntman. He used to perform all these sorts of submissions and power bombs on me. But he'd always let me win the match. Why? So I wouldn't tell my parents. Because back then, we feared my dad. He's had many hairstyles. Back in the 90s, where am I here? Yeah. He's had many hairstyles. Back in the 90s, he had long, parted hair. Kind of looked like Jonathan Taylor Thomas from Home Improvement. Then he bleached his hair blonde so he could look like a Portuguese soccer player, but he looked like an Eminem wannabe. In his latest years, he looked like a Guido, trying to look like some sort of Euro trash, but now he's got a new style. It's like a balding, thinning, gray style, so he can look like my dad. We're very competitive. It's no secret. We can almost get into a fist fight while playing soccer on the same team. Mostly because he's the laziest player I've ever met. Being competitive started early because I lived to prove him wrong. But my brother was smart. He took advantage of this. He used to make little bets to me like, hey Corey, I bet you can't run downstairs and get me a pop within 10 seconds. And I was so stubborn, I would take him up on him and I would run and do it. I didn't realize he just didn't want to get off the couch. So Lindsay, I'm really sorry, but I played a real big part in making Steve so lazy. But if you want to blame someone, blame my mom. She did everything for him. And speaking of our mother, she's the one we fear now. Because she's always trying to make these conversations about when she's going to have grandchildren. Because she's the only one of her siblings who doesn't have them. And I guess I have most of my cousins to thank for that. Especially you, Rick, wherever you are. So stop doing what you're doing. Anyway, Steve, Lindsay, do myself and Julie a favor. Get mom off my back. Have a kid as fast as you had a wedding. But in all honesty, and jokes aside, Steve's been a decent brother. Because even when we hate each other, we got each other's back. If you want to fight one of us, you're getting both of us. We've taken trips together. We still call each other about our problems. I mean, I give him horrible advice I'd never follow, but that's just me. Lindsay, I'd like to welcome you to the family. And let you know that by marrying Steve, unfortunately, you get me as your brother-in-law. But I'm glad to have you as a sister-in-law. I also speak for all my immediate and extended family when I welcome you and say we're happy to have you. But good luck, because some of my family, they're crazy. I won't mention names, all my aunts and uncles. So, congratulations to the both of you. Enjoy your day and the rest of your lives together. Of course, we'll know everything that goes on in your lives, because Steve posts everything on social media. And finally, Steve, I know I said before I didn't have a choice in my brother, but if I had a choice, I'd probably still choose you. I was going to say something about you, Nelson, but I'll leave it for Steve.
Our family are so short. We just met, my wife and I, my parents met Joe and Ilda a couple of weeks ago. They came down to Ottawa to visit Steve and my daughter, and they came over to our place. And you know, as a parent, most of our life, after we started raising our child, you always wonder who they're going to marry. I've met a few of the specimens that Lindsay has been with over the years. And thank God they're gone. And then I met Steve, or Steph, as Corey just called him, or Stefan, as his mother calls him. So right away, we knew something was up. Kim and I were driving to a concert in Toronto last year, and Lindsay keeps getting phone calls from a guy who's on the same Toronto bypass as we're on, but he's going the other way. And his pretense for calling us, he wanted to know where that giant inflatable duck was in Brockville so he could go see it. They didn't tell us we had no idea there was even anything going on. There were a few clues, but you'll find out about those shortly. So then we started bringing Steve on a couple fishing trips. And he's the only guy, 3 weeks ago, we bring on a fishing trip, not too far away, and he gets bit by a little black fly in the neck and ends up in the doctor's office with a major infection. Had a huge growth here. The last trip, just before we left, and this word I saw was last week, is Lindsay brought a cold home from work, and then she gave it to Steve, who then gave it to the other guy on our fishing trip, who then started giving it to me. So he slept most of the trip, all the way up, and sleep in the boat. But anyway, back to the in-laws part. I mean, and I know I speak for Kim too, we're so happy when we met Joe and Elda, and then we met Eldina. Oh, I forgot, I promised I wouldn't say anything about Eldina. And then we met Maria, or Tia Maria as Lindsay called her last week. And I believe we met Elda's parents.
No.
Is that right? At your house last week? So we met them all, and we couldn't be more happy. We just feel like family. Kim was over this week, and she slept, I think, on Joe's bed or chair. Joe's chair. He took her over to his basement. But they feel like home, and they're, and I know most of you in this hall come as part of that Portuguese package. And we're very happy. First of all, it's easy to remember everybody's names because they're all close to the same thing. So next, Steve wants to come up here, and I think he's got a couple of different speeches that some people are too shy to read, and they've asked Steve to read on their behalf. So Steve or Steph, come on up.
You have to give me a second, I emailed it to myself.
You're reading off your phone.
Okay, before I start my speech, I rewrote it because I didn't think my brother was going to be a savage. So it's really toned down. So I'm going to start off with letting everyone know that there's going to be a few times we will cheers in my speech. So the table, that table in specific, take some sips. Not gulps, because we don't have enough wine to go around right now, and I don't want you guys to run out during my speech. So I want to thank everybody for coming first, but I also want to make a mention, my grandparents and uncle couldn't come, so everybody could do a cheers for them.
Cheers.
Cheers. Everybody good? Okay. First, I would like to thank the McDonald's for welcoming me into their family. I think Kim was super happy I joined the household because I was the first person who actually enjoyed her organic food. Every morning when I used to wake up, when I would sleep over there too, Kim would stare at me. There'd be a box of Krispy Kreme donuts on the table, and she would be yelling at me, "Steph, there's a banana here. It's a lot healthier for you." All right, I'm going to try not to laugh at this one. I'm not even going to read it because I already know how the story goes. So, when I first met Vince, I was driving on the 416 and I called Lindsay and I said, "Is your dad as bad as you make him out to be?" And in the background, all I heard was, "Linz, should I get my baseball bat?" I got a little scared because Lindsay told me stories, about the other guys that he used to, bully and stuff like that. So I got to the front door, I was a little shaky, walked inside the house, and then I see coming out of the shadows, Vince, just wearing his boxers. That's how we met. And then the first time was the first time I went to Kempville for McDonald's date night. I hadn't eaten in 2 years, but Vince convinced me to eat it like 10 times in 3 days. But I have to admit, I'm proud to have him as a father-in-law. Even though when we go on fishing trips, sometimes he forgets the food, and we're stranded in the middle of, I can't remember, Squaw Lake, eating one chocolate bar between the two of us for 2 days. So cheers to my new in-laws, and thank you for welcoming me to the family. Cheers. All right, to my parents. I'm going to talk about my mom first because after I get through with my dad, frankly, my mom's boring. Mom, thank you for everything you've done. You know, helping me become the better man I am. You know, you did great with your first son. You should just stop there. I don't know what happened when you decided to have Corey. As for my dad, Dad, I don't know if you checked at home, but I canceled all the Portuguese channels and I also threw your laptop out so that you could, you know, spend more time with Mom. Anyways, once again, thank you to my mom and dad for raising me and my brother, and cheers to both of them. Thanks, Uncle. Before I continue, how was the table I pointed out? You guys good? Okay. All right, before I continue to my groomsmen, because it's a little bit long in my speech, I just wanted to thank all the bridesmaids. You guys all look wonderful today. I also want to give a thank you to Julie and Ashley for making it look so beautiful. And also my cousin Nicole and my Uncle Joe for taking the photos today. Okay, so now to my groomsmen. After hearing Corey's speech, honestly, I don't know if I should read this or I should just improv.
I had to.
First of all, I'm going to start with Andrew. Andrew, actually, thanks for coming to my wedding.
You're welcome.
It's a long story, only a few people know. I was very proud to pick Andrew as one of my groomsmen. I used to live with him in Oakville when I went away to school. And sorry, Tia, for all the fights we got into. That's my Tia Maria. You know, one time I woke up and Andrew had put shaving cream on my face. So when he fell asleep, I picked his nose with his finger and put it in his mouth.
That's the best thing he ever did. A lot worse than that.
But I have to admit, I was proud to have him as one of my groomsmen. My favorite memory ever of Andrew would be we took a trip to Mexico and he had gone missing for a couple of hours. I went to bed. All of a sudden, the door blasted open and here he came running in with a giant chicken statue. Steve, I got a chicken statue. Well, he cuddled that statue all night and then made me put the statue on the house cleaner's table when we left because he was too scared to give it away. Nelson, don't worry, the food is coming. I know you're always hungry. If you have kids, can you cover your kids' ears for a second here? I know Nelson for pretty much 20 years, maybe a little longer. We went to school together, we played soccer together. I was part of his wedding party. He's been one of my best friends ever. But Corey really wanted to say something to you in his speech, but I'm going to say it. Those of you who know Nelson are very nice, know that he's very nice, but he's also the #1 piece of shit in the world. Stephen Farwell. Yeah. I just want to let you know, Nelson, Julie actually made me take a lot of things out of my speech when it came to you, so yeah. So Stephen Farwell, the guy who looks like Dwight from The Office. It's kind of a little funny, you know, our relationship. It was a little bit like Jim and Dwight. We pranked each other all the time. We also went to Mexico on a trip together and had a great time. With Steve though, my favorite memory of Steve, the very first time we went out was at a work function. And Steve was a little shy, so I said, Steve, let's have some shots. After the 3rd or 4th round of the tequila shot, he told me he wasn't feeling too well. But I told him if it took a couple more, he'd feel better. And we all know how that night ended. Steve, I won't embarrass you, but you had a great night. Now for my best man. I don't even know how I can compete with his speech, so give him a round of applause. First of all, I know Nelson will understand this joke, but Corey, you know you seek approval, and I got that for your speech.
That's good.
You know, he did say a lot of things about this wrestling pact, and I actually have it in my speech about me doing wrestling moves to him. But I also wanted to elaborate a little bit more about how this happened. So, my cousin Jeff, I don't know where he is right now. There he is. Jeff's gonna remember this. I played hockey for one season, but kept all my hockey equipment. So we decided that we would dress Corey up in all this hockey equipment and tell him he was RoboCop. We did things like power bombs and choke slams. Well, one time, I missed the couch and power bombed Corey onto the cement.
It's a true story.
Right away, I was so scared that my dad was gonna find out. I improv and I said, "Hey Corey, RoboCop doesn't cry." It could explain a little bit of his undiagnosed brain damage, and I apologize to Julie. Honestly, as much as we fight, as Corey said, we're very close, and if you're gonna fight somebody else, Corey, you're gonna fight me, and vice versa. But the biggest thing is when me and Corey fight, the first thing we do instead of saying sorry, is we get a box of Pop-Tarts, and we celebrate with the box of Pop-Tarts. Cheers to the groomsmen. And now for my beautiful bride. So Eileen already said the backstory, how we met in Toronto. But I like to kind of think that our relationship is like Jim and Pam from The Office. She's my best friend and the perfect partner, and I could go on, but I have to say her portion of the speech because she was too shy to come up here. So here it is. Hey everyone, thank you for coming. I want to talk about my groom. Dear Steve, you are the most perfect and handsome guy on the planet. I promise to always let you pick all the movies and shows we can watch on TV at night. You can also sit on your couch and play on your tablet as much as you can, and I won't get mad. I will cook and clean for you every day and also walk the dog every day. I just love you so much. Before I continue with her speech, I'm going to stop here before I get a divorce within 24 hours, which was almost as long as our engagement. But cheers to my beautiful wife and my best friend, and thanks to everyone who came tonight. All I ask is one thing. If you're going to drink and drive, call a taxi, and let's get ready to party. Steve, once again, everybody. Thank you to Steve for DJing our party, and I'm sorry that I missed your name on the first poster.
We'd also like to thank the hotel and Stephanie, who's in charge. She's hiding around the corner here. Stephanie, come on now. Quit being so shy now. Come on. We had a bit of a bumpy relationship for a while, but everything turned out great. Thank you very much. Now, a couple things just before we get moving off this subject is the last time we went to Joe and Elda's place, I told Elda I was upset about this wedding emotion. I was having a tough time with it. And I asked her, I said, "Why are you going to shed any tears when Steph walks down the aisle?" And her response was, that was it. It's like, goodbye. And then there was Aldina. who was, you see, she's so worried that I'm going to pick on her tonight. I can't pick on her, she's a new sister-in-law. Her and Joe, where is it? I can't really see from up here. Anyway, they feel like family right now. Kim and I, we both found this difficult in different ways. I mean, we're really happy that Lindsay has chosen Steph. You know, we put him through my tests, and he passed with flying colors, and I think he's a great addition to Lindsay's world and vice versa. But I still found it very difficult, because it still feels like you're losing your daughter. And I think everybody was watching. My wife was concerned that I might shed a tear today, but meanwhile, she was the one dropping tears most of the day. Every time we saw these girls, they were in the private girls' room at the hotel, counting back champagne all afternoon. So we'll see how long they last tonight. And then there was my father, who found out that I was going to be emceeing tonight. And the first thing he says, "Oh God, no, please don't. You over-exaggerate and embellish everything that you do. You blow everything out of control." Well, I'm here to say that that's not exactly true. And there's my father sitting over the table right under that light. And just to give you an idea, my father's like, when he moved into our house, he had 8 squirrels in his backyard. He said, "I can't stand it, I'm going to trap them." Well, now we're about 15 years later, he's trapped about 140 of them, and he's still got 8 squirrels. So anyway, we prepared a small video here that we're going to show you tonight. Oh, thank you. Yeah, we just want to make sure this is set up. Now, as I mentioned, Steph and Lindsay never really told us much about their relationship. We had no idea. It was kind of a very slow, subtle process. Lindsay? Well, thank you very much. Sorry, Dad, I'm not doing anything special here. I was going to do this evening in the voice of Montgomery Burns, but my wife won't let me do it. I've been practicing on it. Oh yeah, thanks. I mean that and this. I can't even say much about Steph's family because I've only met mostly the people at this first table, including Albina. So anyways, it was difficult, but I mean, we automatically, the first time we met them, we felt like family right away. They spent one whole afternoon at our place, and we came down here. And I don't know how many people in this place know Rusty. Rusty. Yeah. Rusty takes over the world. It's their dog, who comes to our house frequently. I'll be lying in the bathtub and I feel plunk. All of a sudden a ball's dropped on top of me. And then you throw it out of the bathroom, and 10 seconds later, plunk again. And then tonight, Rusty is sleeping with Ilda on her bed. So for those of you who know Ilda, this is not something that normally happens. So anyway, we made a small video. I think it'll work from here. I don't know. We've been practicing with this thing all afternoon to get it right. And we're gonna, yeah, the lights are gonna start to go. Let's see here. Oh, of course the machine turns, is it on? Anyway, they haven't seen this. Oh, I think we're gonna go here.
Another countdown?
So anyway, a note to my father, I don't exaggerate and blow things out of proportion. We just made a little bit of this. There's a little bit of less of Steph's family because we still haven't accumulated enough pictures. I don't even have a picture of Albina yet. Anyway, we hope you enjoy the video, and then right afterwards, you have time for one drink, and dinner's going to be coming up right about 7:30, and we'll tell you the order that the tables are going to be served. So I hope you enjoy this evening. Right after dinner, we're going to have the garter and the bouquet, a couple small things, and then the dance will be starting right 9 o'clock. So enjoy the show. Thanks for coming again.
Exciting and new. Come aboard. We're expecting you and love. Life's sweetest reward. Let it flow. It floats back to you. Soon we'll be making another run. The love boat Set course for adventure, your mind on a new romance. And love won't hurt anymore. It's an open smile on a friendly shore. It's love. Welcome aboard, it's You ain't nothing but a hound dog, you're crying all the time. You ain't nothing but a hound dog, crying all the time. Well, you ain't never caught a rabbit and you ain't no friend of mine. Well, they said you was high class, well, that was just a lie. Yeah, they said you was high class, well, that was just a lie. Yeah, you ain't never caught a rabbit and you ain't no friend of mine. You ain't nothing but a hound dog, crying all the time. You ain't nothing but a hound dog, crying all the time. Well, you ain't never caught a rabbit and you ain't no friend of mine. Well, they said you was high class. Well, that was just a lie. Yeah, they said you was high class. Well, that was just a lie. Yeah, you ain't never caught a rabbit and you ain't no friend of mine. Well, they said you was high class. Well, that was just a lie. You know they said you was high class. Well, that was just a lie. Yeah, you ain't never caught a rabbit and you ain't no friend of mine. You ain't nothing but a hound dog, crying all the time. You ain't nothing but a hound dog, crying all the time. Well, you ain't never caught a rabbit. You ain't no friend of mine.
You're gone even though you're not. Oh, you're not gonna start crying, are you? Lindsay, come on now.
She's gone.
And Steph, you better start saving for Christmas. Because in our house, we figure your Christmas tree. And he already knows there's a full cupboard of presents for him right now, and he knows where they are because he hasn't been in the room. And they keep telling us, oh, Christmas will be slow this year. We have a new house and we're not spending any money. Well, married into the wrong family. Anyway, we're going to start the music. Dinner will be up in about 10 minutes. Stephanie will let everybody know when it's time to eat, okay? So enjoy yourself, and we'll talk in a little while. Thank you.
Beautiful and sweet. I never knew you were someone waiting for me. 'Cause we were just kids when we fell in love, not knowing what So I sing you to sleep after the loving with a song I just wrote yesterday. And I hope you can hear what the words and the music have to say. It's so hard to explain everything that I'm feeling face to face. I just seem to go dry. But I love you so much that the sound of your voice can get me high. Thanks for taking me on a one-way trip to the sun. And thanks for turning me into a someone. So I sing you to sleep after the loving. I brush back the hair from your eyes, and the love on your face is so real that it makes me wanna cry. And I know that my song isn't saying anything new. Oh, but after the love, I'm still in love with you. So I sing you to sleep after the loving. I brush back the hair from your eyes, and the love on your face is so real that it makes me wanna cry. And I know that my song isn't saying